What's good with y'all boys? Welcome to another one of my videos. I'd just like to preface this video by saying it could be uncomfortable for some, it could be disrespectful maybe. Of course, it's quite an abstract topic, but I'd like to talk about morality, about how today's society is so riddled with a lack of this morality that is quite important in my opinion. If you have an Instagram or TikTok account or even a YouTube account, you may have noticed there are tons of YouTube gurus, these wannabe rich guys that sell courses for $10 and they will tell you how to get rich in 5 easy steps in 2 days. There are so many different types of scams, different ways to make quick money, different ways to basically take such a shortcut to gain something, and most of the time obviously it's not a real gain in any type of way, because when people take these shortcuts instead of doing the work that is required for some gain, then of course most of the time it just doesn't work. It's all about luck. It's gambling essentially. Let's say you were to work a job for a year, while you work 40 hours a week, you study for your job, you get better at your job, you learn, and you make some decent money. This is how usually it's supposed to go. You start at the beginning, you don't know much, you make little money, then as you get better, you progress and you make more money. Nowadays it's all about, spend a week, do something completely random, and get the 100k on your 100,000k. Wait, that's stupid. You get 100k on your account, and now you're rich, and now you can do whatever. Go shit on models' faces in Dubai or whatever. It's popular nowadays. Drink matcha in a fucking cafe with your MacBook out. But I think this has ruined at least the semblance of morality today. Even if in my immediate family, I've noticed this often. It's people only thinking about what do I gain from this, what will I receive after I do something. And this thinking of quick rewards is just so self-destructive and so, I don't know, I just find it so horrendous and off-putting, because essentially what you're doing is you're swapping out your peace of mind, you're swapping out your morality for a quick gain, which results in a fall right after. There's no way you can make these quick gains over a long time. There's just simply no way for that to work out, because I've noticed everything in this world is basically a cycle. It's cyclical. The world spins around. There is a saying, basically every 100 years there is a pandemic, or there are always wars every 100 years or so, and we as humans never learn from our history as we should. And that is basically the semblance of this video, or the end mark. Because if let's say you were to go 300 or 200 years ago, or even 1,000 years ago, probably at this time there were people waging wars against each other, people funding the wars, and then after that happens, people died, maybe the territories moved a little, territories, but essentially nothing really happened in the long run, because if you look at the world right now, it's basically the same thing still today. We just have more different circuses to watch. Today you can watch fucking Tung Tung Sahur versus Selena Gomez on IG Reels while you scroll for 10 hours and do nothing the whole day, basically. At least back then people had to work, so they had some work ethic and a fit body. Today it's the same essentially, but we as people have gotten so so much dumber and so much focused on quick gains that we forget that, you know, life is a marathon. It's not a sprint. If you keep only looking down at the ground, you won't run a long distance. You will only keep running as long as essentially your body thinks it can. But if you look farther down the road, if you look back at the trees, at the sky, you can run as long as you can push your mind to run. And with that in mind, this applies to essentially any type of endeavor you can get yourself into. You know, I've been working in finance for the last half a year or close to a year now. Switched some companies, made some money here and there, you know, had some losses, of course. And today when I look back on it, I think mostly fondly of all the losses that I've had, because they taught me so much, and they taught me more than the types I was gaining. You know, when I had a good wage because I did well in my job, that didn't really teach me anything. But when I was doing badly, I was doing poorly, you know, my mind was in the gutter. You know, I thought, fuck it, I should quit. You know, this isn't for me. I can't do it. I just don't know how. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I always just kept looking farther down the road. I kept looking out the window, essentially. My mind, let's say your mind is a room and you have a window on top. As long as you keep looking out at the sky, your mind is free. If you keep looking at the walls, you know, at the ceiling, staring at the wall, there is no way you can move out of the room. But once you keep looking at the window, one day your mind will fly along the sky with the birds, with the clouds, and you will reach a different type of maybe nirvana, let's say. It's something that I like about Buddhism. Essentially, it is a hopeful religion, but it's not so far out of reality as certain types of religions. You know, I believe religion is quite important in life. I feel like it's something that people are missing right now, because religion gives you hope. It gives you something to be happy about in the future, and with that in mind, you can achieve so much more. Even if it's just a delusion, it helps, because it doesn't matter if the thing at the end of the tunnel is real. As long as you believe there is something at the end of the tunnel, then you will reach it. But if you don't think there is anything in the future for you to be happy about, then you will simply not even try to reach that height. With that in mind, I think that would be all for today's video. I'm happy that you guys decided to watch it this far. I hope it's been interesting, and I will try to make a different video for you guys tomorrow. Let me know if you guys would like more philosophical content, or if you prefer my shorter, more comedic styles. I will be happy to talk about anything, really, because this is a hobby for me that I do outside of work. You know, work is stressful. It's energetic, exciting, and then I can force my creative out here, you know. But with that in mind, I'd like to thank you, everybody, for coming, and I'll see you another time. Bye bye.